So this story is weird because I don't know if you guys noticed this at all, but I am a transgender woman. I know, it'd be cool. It's fine. And here's the thing, I have always been a woman, but this story happened at a period in my life where nobody else knew that information. This is like, because I have done a lot of online dating. It turns out online dating is a really good thing when you're someone like me, because like it's really good like filter people who might have a problem with your entire existence. Like it's good to have that one step, like you're cool with this, right? Before, like you're not, okay, cool, all right. I still had some bad online dates. Like a lot of women will date me, like and this is not a trans thing, this is a lesbian thing, it turns out. This is a lot of women will use online dating as a way of coming out of the closet to themselves, but they like they're experimenting with their like sexuality. They don't tell you that until like the third date. They're like, oh, by the way, I've never been on a date with a woman before, just so you know. I'm like, oh cool, thanks for letting me know when we started dating. That's fantastic. I had a woman on our first date, she was like, I just want you to know you're the first woman I ever dated. And I was like, yeah, I've heard that a lot. And she goes, yeah, I just thought you'd be a really good bridge into queerness. And I was like, wait, what? She goes, well, because you know, you used to be a man. I'm like, hey, that's not how that works. And I was like, here's the thing, I am not entry-level queer dating, all right? If anything, I am expert level queer dating. I am like 8th level of Mario Brothers of queer dating. Like, sex with me is like an escape room. I mean, you can leave. It's just a metaphor. I mean, like, I just mean like you get in there, like, wait, this does not look how I thought it was gonna look. I need to call a friend who's good at puzzles. Like, that's. It's always like an awkward thing. Like I think there was a while there. This is like, cause I'm gonna tell you a story about my first ever online date. But like, as online dates now, it feels like a lot of people don't understand that gender identity and sexuality can overlap. And a lot of people aren't turned on by Venn diagrams. It just felt like on a first date, like if instead of bringing when I'm bringing to the table, that was just Frankenstein's monster, right? You'd be like, listen, before we order drinks, I should let you know I am technically 7 corpses sewn together. But I'm totally alive, my dad told me. Alright, so my story. This story takes place in the mid-2000s, and I was still living as a man back then, bless you, and I don't look the way I did then, so for the purpose of the story, imagine a slightly chubby 20-something Matthew Perry. It's like Matthew Perry before the diet pill problems that Matthew Perry famously had. Don't be shocked after what you heard from the previous. Don't be shocked at diet pill jokes. So they're all vaginas having things and yeah, right. I have an outie vagina. Anyway, so this was my first ever online date. Here's how long ago it was. It was Yahoo Personals. It wasn't even Match.com. It was Yahoo Personals. And I don't remember her name, and I probably wouldn't share it if I did, because that'd be rude, so we're gonna call her Annie, because that was Kathy Bates' name in the film Misery. We had made plans to, I asked her out, we met on Yahoo Personals, and I'd asked her out, she wasn't available, and then the night that I had asked her out, that she wasn't available, then suddenly, out of the blue that evening, she called me, and she invited me to this bar. And there was an area of downtown Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, that is like this really cool, like, hipster area, and then she was hanging out at the one dive bar in the middle of all of that. Which is fine, I love a dive, I will go to it, it's fine, but I was like not ready for it, so we go to this bar. So I'm driving to meet her, and what I don't realize until I'm there is that I was not asked out, I was drunk dialed. Because that's what happened. She called me, she's like, hey, I'm hanging out at this bar, you should come join me. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do that, because I wanted to date this woman. And then I did not realize that this was a problem, because like I'm driving there, she calls me, let's say 7 seconds after I left my house, like she calls me within like 5 or 10 minutes and says, hey, where are you? I'm like, I'm literally on my way to you now. Like I don't own teleporting, so I have to drive downtown to meet you. And then I put the phone down, I'm driving, because safety first, and then I'm driving, and then she calls again, like 5 minutes later, like still, like, where are you? I'm like, I'm on my way, like, what are you? This is what now, as a more mature dating adult understands, is what we call red flags. Now I know this. Then I was like, she likes me a lot. She really wants me to get there. She calls me 4 times between my house and the bar. It's a 20-minute drive. Like she calls me, the last time she calls me, I'm walking to the bar now, and I'm coming. So I get in there, but I'm like still in like, I'm gonna get laid head mode, so I'm not like, I'm not aware of how ridiculous. So I walk into the bar, and now this is not a fat shaming joke. This is she's a normal sized person, but when I walked into the bar, my very first immediate feeling was the scene in Return of the Jedi when you first walk into Jabba the Hutt's palace. Not because she was large, I'm not body shaming her. She was just sitting in the back of this room, sloshed, and her face is drooping, and there's smoke everywhere. There's a little Muppet at her feet laughing at her jokes. And she's like her makeup is like smeared a little bit because she's been drinking, and she's got those like drunk sweats, and she's like holding court or whatever, and she has my friend in carbonite. It's fine. So then I'm still not aware there's a problem. Like, I know now. Young me, she didn't know. She's like, no, someone likes me, I'm gonna go. And also, she was like 5 years older than her profile pic which is like, fine, I like an older lady, but I like an older lady who I know is an older lady, okay. So I go and I sit down, and she says, hey, do you want a drink? And I said, sure, I'll take a Miller Lite. And she goes, oh, I have to get it for you? And I'm like, I thought that was the nature of offering. I thought that was what that was. Like, I didn't know you were taking a poll of what my beverage preferences were. It's fine. And then she looks at me and she goes, are you scared? Here's a tip if you're on a date tonight or ever again in your life. Let's never ask your date if they're scared, because yeah, now I am, yeah. Real scary. So then we're hanging out, and like it's going on like this for a while. Like, it's a lot of like her telling me, and then she keeps pointing out how young I am. She's like, you're so young, and I'm like, I'm the age my profile says I am. She's like, you're so scared. I'm like, kind of getting there a little bit, yeah. So then she goes, oh, my friends are here. And I go, wait, what? And I thought, oh, our friends arrived at the bar. No, when she was drunk dialing me, she also drunk dialed another one of her friends to come join us at the bar. So now in my head I'm going, oh good, there's gonna be more of them. Yeah, and then her friends arrive, and it's actually a couple that are themselves on a first date, which is going way better than mine. It's this couple that, I don't know if they're a couple now, I never saw them again, but this night, they were named, it was Mary and John, I think. It's been a long time. I've drank a lot since then. I don't remember everybody's name. It's fine. Cis white people, you all have to lie to me too, so it's fine. So it's Mary and John, we'll call them that, sure. So they come and they sit down, and they clue into how drunk Annie is way faster than I did. And they're like looking at her, and then she's like, yeah, this is just my boy name. I'm gonna say Riley, that's who I am now. She goes, this is Riley, and then she goes, we're here, and then she puts her hand on my hand, and then stares me in the face and says, are we together? Which is still to this day the scariest thing anybody has ever said to me. And I have been assaulted for being transgender, so that's how much more terrifying having a drunk lady that I want to date with go, are we together? And so we're hanging out, we're talking, and Sarah, Mary, and whatever names are, the people, they're super cool. Like they're actually really, they're on a first date and like one of them takes pictures for the Gap, because that's what happens in Columbus, Ohio. And like, they all have like cool things they do. And then one of them like looks at me and they like Annie gets up to go to the bar to get another drink, but like it's kind of like blocking. There's only one door to the bar, like so she's blocking my only exit. And they look at me and her friend looks me in the eye and says, "Just stick with us a little bit longer and we will get you out of here." Her friend offered to help me bail on this terrible date. So then I'm like, okay, and then Annie comes back and sits down, and Annie then says, "We should all go to my house and play Twister." There's no way that story doesn't end with me in a hole in Annie's basement. Like there is a cage, something is happening. So then I'm just like, but then I also thought like, oh, what we can do is like I can just say we're going to go to Annie's house and just leave when that happens. Like I can just not drive to her house when she offers. But instead what happens, finally, like we're hanging out and then suddenly she recognizes somebody else at the bar and she goes and starts talking to him and she's talking to him for like a minute or two and then Mary whips back around, looks at me and goes, "You need to go now." And so I went. I like literally just grabbed my wallet and my keys and just ran out the door and like just completely didn't say bye or just ran out the door. And then I never saw any of them again, which sucked because actually Mary and John were really cool. If I remember their names, I want to look them up and be friends with them still. Like I would have liked to have had a date with the two of them together and me and not Annie. And then, yeah, basically, so then the next day, like, she emailed me, and she was mortified about how drunk she'd been and how she behaved, and she's like, "I'm really sorry to put you through that." I'm like, "That's fine. We are not going to have a second date, just so you know. Just put that out there. It's fine." And then also, then I saw her again, like, 3 years later at a bar, and she was out, and I was out with some friends, and I saw her, and I did not just choose to speak with her, but I did wonder about the poor boy she probably had in a cage at her house. All right, thank you guys very much. I'm always saying thank you.